What's up, Juventini? Alberto here. Got all your Juve news. All right, mixed signals everywhere in terms of Max Allegri and his future involving Juventus. We're going to take a look at what's being said today. Sudakov, all right, he was one of our targets around the winter mercado. He confirms the approach from Juventus, but makes some remarks in regards to our style of play we absolutely have to consider. News on potential targets coming into Juventus and another return coming back to Juventus, all right? So like the video, subscribe to the channel. This is the AJC. Let's rock. First things first, I would have addressed this yesterday. However, I didn't get the news until later on, but very, very unfortunate and sad news revolving around Fiorentina as their general manager, Giuseppe Barone, has passed away, all right? Went into cardiac arrest on Sunday, was treated, underwent surgery, but unfortunately did not make it through. And this is not Juventus news, but this is important for us because we take part in Serie A, and he represents exactly the type of people we need around Calcio, all right? Not one to worry about what other teams are doing or get involved in drama or nonsense, but so dedicated and so focused on strengthening Fiorentina in all facets, playing a major part in restructuring their player recruitment strategies and financial strategies, all right? Working with the women's side, working with their title-winning youth sector, all right? And of course, playing a pivotal part in the construction of a beautiful training facility, Viola Park there, all right? So this is a loss for everyone outside of Fiorentina as well, because Giuseppe Barone represents exactly what is needed in Calcio as we try to bridge the gap. It is a big loss. Thoughts and prayers and my deepest condolences go out to his family. All right, now we get to the news around Juventus. So when it comes to Juventus, our target Samardzic still remains on the target list, and the reports suggest he is in fact 100% leaving Udinese this summer. 30 million euros is the price tag. He has interest from several clubs. However, everyone is still monitoring what exactly is going on with him, especially after he's hit the bench for 3 straight games, all right? So Samardzic watch still in effect. Price tag hasn't seemed to change. We still have all those confirmations from some credible guys that Juve did have an agreement before the winter mercado ended. So let's see if that agreement stands in the summer, all right? As far as Juve goes with left backs, Milan and Juve both monitoring Lecce's left back Dorgu, all right? So he's on the target list. Another new name to add to the list, okay? Then you have Sudakov. Sudakov heavily linked with Juventus around the winter mercado. Sudakov says that Napoli and Juventus both made approaches with Shakhtar, his owning club right now, in the winter mercado. However, it fell a lot short of what Shakhtar is looking for the player. But Sudakov, what's interesting here is not just that he confirmed Juve made the approach, it's that what he said in terms of he has watched Juventus. They only play a 3-5-2, which I don't find suitable for me. And he adds, play style 100% counts for me. All right, so this is something that definitely has to be taken into consideration, and it's going to be interesting to see what kind of response we're getting from players that are targeted. Obviously, we're not going to hear about all of them, but management is going to be getting that type of feedback. And then from this, that has to play some type of part in this decision that they're faced with in terms of how to move forward at the coaching position, all right? And today, the mixed signals are everywhere, all right? Gazzetta painting a picture that Max will be remaining. They go back to Giuntoli's words ahead of the Genoa match, all right, focusing on Champions League qualification, and we would be happy to go into the last year or extend with a lower salary. Max is open to both of those options, all right, but they focus on, Gazzeta's focusing on Giuntoli's words of wanting to continue, and they're wanting to have this relationship work forward in the future. Tutto Sport, however, says the divorce is imminent, all right? And at season's end, Motta is top of the list, but they say there are still some at Juventus that want Conte's return to come back and salvage and save Juventus from this crisis. So the signals are going in all different directions. What does the club have to say? Well, Scanavino came out and he said essentially they have great trust in this team and coach. We are all working together to finish with our objectives of reaching Champions League qualification and the Coppa Italia final. All right. So a very, very PR friendly, base, flat, vanilla statement, whatever the hell you want to call it. Very, very generalized statement. All right. Now, for me, yes, I am looking for more. While this is nice of the media to do this and everything, well, they've also, Gazzetta, in trying to paint that picture, have missed out one of the facts that Max Allegri came out and he specifically said there have been no discussions on the future. Yet, Giuntoli is saying otherwise and leading us to believe otherwise, that yes, there's this willingness to work on the future, yet they haven't even spoken to Max about moving on. So I'm not buying into the picture that's trying to be painted here. In terms of Tuttosport, saying Motta's top of the list, Nico Schira, who's been one of the best for 4 years now in terms of rumors and what's going on, says several meetings have been held with Motta. For Conte, we were hearing all last summer, the situation around Juventus was the same as when Max Allegri first left in 2019. There is different ideas of how to move forward within that upper management, all right? So for me, I'm not buying it. This team is heavily considering a change, all right? In terms of Allegri and what he's saying, well, he did an interview with The Athletic, and he simply said that when he was brought in, the project was to rejuvenate the team while remaining competitive and keeping things sustainable. And the club has done a fantastic job with that. Well, that isn't exactly right, though, because when Max first came in, we didn't bite the bullet financially and start pulling all these young guys in. I believe it was full intention to get back to winning and chipping away lightly at the financials. The financials didn't get bought into, and we didn't bite the bullet financially until after his first season. And that's when you get the huge influx of young players. So I don't think that comment is necessarily true or factual as well. It was winning first and turned into this, okay, we have to clean things up. You get the scandal and points and all this. Time to clean things up. Build something sustainable, move forward. It changed. It changed with Max, all right? It became that. It wasn't that from the start. In terms, he continues on with expectations and fans and whatnot, saying that the 9-year run has altered perception and expectations because that is not the norm. And he said that has only happened twice, in the 30s with somebody going 5 straight and then us with the 9 straight. And he said it's not normal. Outside of that, Juve has won it 2 times in a row, in speaking of the Scudetto. So Max kind of talking to the project finally, all right? And talking about expectations. But for me, he is very much on the cusp of leaving, and I cannot see this team continue. For Scanavino and his plain Jane, all right, remarks, no wonder this team can't take accountability for anything, all right? Fan service is extremely important to me, all right? And yeah, I'm a fan, but it isn't difficult. You don't have to pull the curtains wide open and let everybody in behind the scenes. But it isn't difficult to say that everything and everyone is being evaluated from here on out. A simple statement like that acknowledges the unacceptable form we have reached, all right? And it gives fans something, all right? But to simply tie in and show this faith, do they think that making a statement like that will jeopardize anything down this stretch? They are actively having meetings with other coaches that are getting confirmed by someone who has been spot on for 4 years now. And they think that a statement like that, a little bit of fan service, is going to jeopardize the 9 games down the season? I don't think so. Take accountability, man up, and start setting the tone for standards at Juventus. That's what I'm looking for, everybody. Agree? Disagree? Hit me in the comments, everybody. Now we get to some news around our players. Kostic, all signs point to him leaving at season's end. Vlahovic has received a 70K fine on top of his suspension for his exchange with the official during the Genoa match. And Arthur, it appears he will be returning to Juventus. Fiorentina will not be picking up the option on Arthur. That wraps up your news break to today. And you guys, I can't wait to hear where you're at with this merry-go-round and all these mixed signals everywhere. Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share the content. Until tomorrow's edition, as always, fino alla fine, forza Juve, ciao tutti.